Ready?
Born ready. Born ready.
G'day everybody, welcome to ECITV episode 39. We've got a lot on the show today, haven't we, Gary?
Yeah, okay, we have, believe it or not, we've got a bit to go through, so, and we've got Paul here with us, so we've got a couple of products, a bit of a wrap-up and a little bit of a lead-up to our big trip next weekend, so stay tuned, we'll be back shortly.
G'day, he's Gary.
And here's Shane.
And you're watching ECITV.
You certainly are. Enjoy.
Okay everyone, welcome back. That was quick.
It was quick. We don't need to introduce Paul, he's part of the furniture now.
He certainly is.
Have been for a long time.
That's what happens when you call in to pick up a few bits and pieces. We'll say, quick, sit down, we're going to film. So Paul's really prepped and ready for this.
Yeah.
Not.
Actually, while Paul's here, did you watch the Lilydale Conquer the Valley video we put together, Paul? You featured heavily in it.
Yes,
for at least a second.
surprisingly heavy. No, you're in the 50 plus class.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, look, speaking of that, it was a great little edit. It was a good day. It was a great kudos to Lilydale BMX Club for putting on such a great event. And it was a bit weird when everyone said, look, all the tents and everything are going to be out in the back car park and everything, but it created an awesome atmosphere. And everyone commented about the fact that all the tents were, you know, instead of being spread out around the track, that it sort of created almost just like a community effect.
A little village.
A little village out in the car park. And whereas you'd normally just walk past someone to head up to the pits or anything, you're actually sitting with them. And so everyone was just, you know, getting involved. It was fantastic and it was great. And you'll see it on the clip if you have a look at the one that we put together for it. It's really, really good.
Yes, we'll provide a link to that one. And hopefully we do many more in the future.
Well, we have got one coming up, so yeah. But yeah, any of those little ones, if you are fairly local to us, we're not travelling a great deal at the moment, obviously. But if you are fairly local to us and you're keen for us to come out and have a look, drop us a line, and we're more than happy to head out and try and cover the event for you a little bit with the film crew that we've got.
You should thank Glenn for all his hard work as well.
Yeah, definitely. It's yeah, everyone puts in a lot of effort, and no more than Shane, believe it or not, with all the editing. But yeah, it is a lot of work, and Glenn does a great job with the main report, and everyone else with a bit of filming around the track. And you can end up standing there for a long time, just waiting to catch a little bit of footage. But it's all worth it.
Yeah. So another thing that's new in the last couple of weeks is I've been working with Michael Bias on the Bias Opinion. We kind of expanded that while he's travelling with the World Cup. So it's the Bias Opinion World Tour, which is already 2 episodes up on ECITV's YouTube channel and Facebook page.
Have you had a look at that one, Paul? Come on, come on.
The answer is no.
Not very patriotic of you.
I must admit, I watched the first one. I haven't watched the second one yet, but it is always good to see Michael's outlook on things.
Yeah. So he managed to make the semi-final. So congratulations, Michael, on doing that on day 2. After coming back from being eliminated in the last chance qualifier on day 1. So it was quite an effort to go from 0 to hero just overnight.
It's hard to pick yourself up like that after you've, yeah, definitely. So he's done well.
Yeah. Also on BMX Ultra, we interviewed Kai Cheng from Tioga. He's a long-standing employee there. He's been there for about 25, 30 years, I think he said. And we spoke about Tioga's history, all of their tyres, the COM3s, the power blocks, and the React tyres, the new seats, so the Evo and the Weenie saddle. And the Weenie is one of your favourites, isn't it?
Yeah, Weenie, I've been looking forward.
We've been hanging out for a Weenie.
No half weenie, just a full weenie.
Full Weenie. And we also talked about the current stage of the development of the new front end system, and it sounds like they're getting a bit closer to release on that actually.
I've been talking about that for a while, haven't we?
Closer to release?
No, the front end system.
Oh, you have.
We've covered that a lot.
Yeah. And he's looking forward to catching up again, so we might hear from him a bit more over the next few months.
You were saying it is a bit of a lengthy interview, like goes for about an hour?
About 50 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe something that you can put on in the car or something on the way to work, or 2.5 hour drive from work to here.
When you get home and you're feeling romantic.
You want to set the mood? Not.
Also, while we're at Lilydale's Conquer the Valley, we did capture quite a few crashes. One of those led to Grant Hines breaking a couple of ribs. So if you're watching the video, you see a guy go down the first straight and hit heavily. That was Grant. He has a tendency to do that, which is why he's one of the head knobs over at Crash Test Dummies, which is quite appropriate. So I think he'll need to stand in for a while. He's going to take a back seat and help the team over the next few months while he heals.
There was another little crash actually that I was partly involved in. I had my grandson there, and he was keen to watch the racing, so he's standing on the last corner at Lilydale, out in the open basically, and I've gone up to him and I says, look, just a little bit safe, stand behind a post, because if someone comes up and loses it on this corner, at least they'll hit the post and not you. Well, sure as heck, the next moto, Jake Svens come flying around the corner, gets clipped and goes straight into the post and almost knocks the post over. And here's my little rider, his name's Ryder, standing behind the post. I've lifted him up and he's gone, oh my God, I nearly died. So, yeah, it could have been a bit nasty if it wasn't for that post. So just, yeah, keep out for the little tackers around the track.
So you've spent quite a bit of time there, Paul. Have you ever hit one of these, what do they call them, the posts of death around Lilydale's track?
No,
That's a surprise.
You've hit it nearly every
No,
year.
I tend to go down on the track itself, not off the side of it. No, but usually it's the second corner, the post dead in the centre of the second corner.
Ah, right.
Okay.
Which this year they didn't actually have any padding around. Every other year they've padded it up quite heavily.
I did see some of the posts had like carpet underlay wrapped around them.
Ah, okay.
So it wasn't massive. It was a bit of a token gesture, really. But when I hadn't been there for quite a long time, and someone was talking about these posts of death, and I thought they can't be that bad. I walked up along the last corner when I first got there, and someone had already crashed into the post. And we saw Jake on the video crashing into the post. so they mustn't be particularly strategically placed around the track.
But the difference is the resurfacing on the second corner. There's so much more traction there now. You're staying a lot lower, whereas before you'd go in, you'd have to go a little bit wide to rail around it because it was a little bit flat in the bottom. And as soon as you did that, anyone coming up under you would just punch you off, well, basically right where the post was.
Wow.
Nothing worse than getting punched in the post.
And talking about punching the post, Brandan Bullows, congratulations for the birth of his second child.
I was wondering where you were going with that.
Well, someone must have been punched in the post for that to happen.
Riders ready. Yeah, and on that subject, moving right along on that subject, also a bit of a shout out to Jake Hall as well, who's expecting this weekend, basically. So by the time this goes to air, we may have a little Hall running around. Hall, H-A-L-L.
Okay.
So yeah, congratulations, Mr. and Mrs. Jake.
On the weekend just gone, the ECI held the first round of the 2021 World Cup Series in Verona, Italy. So it was very European dominated. Very few people from Asia Pacific. I think it was Caroline, Michael Bias, and a few Japanese riders went across. But apart from that, it was pretty quiet.
Well, in the women's elite, actually, 3 American girls in the final without a lease there.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive. I think they got Ryder Payton, is that her name?
Yeah.
Felicia Stansel, and there was another new name to me, I can't remember the other one, finishing, I think it was 4th, 5th and 6th the first day. But yeah, obviously still highly competitive, and the Americans have, 2 spots, I think, at the
They have been
Olympics.
looking a little bit absent from the finals, though, in the last couple of years, so representative-wise.
Well, Lisa and Felicia have been doing really well, but it's nice to see some new
just
names
the numbers,
in there. Yeah. Nice to see some new names. So on day one, the winners were Judy Bauer from the Netherlands and Simon Marquardt, who had his first win. I think it was his first final too at a Supercross, so to go straight to the top of the podium is not a bad effort, is it? And day 2, Laura Smulders won her 20th Supercross race.
Ooh.
And David Graff, who's been at it forever, was set to retire after Tokyo, so it was pretty much his last Supercross event. Took a win, so it was his first win in his career and potentially the last one.
Well, it might be the last one. Last opportunity.
So hopefully this is just a sign of things to come for as we ramp up to the Olympics, should they run. So we've got a couple of events coming up. We've spoken about the Pump Track World Championships qualifier in Mount Gambier. All very disappointed we can't make it.
Yeah,
You were pretty keen. You almost threw in the towel for Sydney, didn't you? And decided.
I haven't totally undecided yet.
Yeah, you've only got a week.
Yeah.
Did you enter just in case?
No.
No.
It'd be a great event to go along and have a look at anyway, but unfortunately...
Just bad timing.
Yeah. Double booked.
Yeah. So instead of that, we'll be in Sydney racing and having a bit of a fun road trip.
Yeah, hitting a few trails on the way and doing a bit of filming at the event, so please come up and say hello. If you do see the profile panda, don't kick him in the shin. We're sort of trying to discourage that.
Kidney punch.
No, leave him alone. I don't know if he'll be putting in an appearance anyway, but we'll definitely be out filming, so please come up and say hello.
If you're looking for autographs, Gary will have pre-signed photos. After that, though, nationwide kind of racing dries up a little bit. I guess it's a winter thing, but for state events, all we have on the calendar is in Queensland, there's a City Challenge May 29th, and in Western Australia, May 16th, Rockingham BMX Club. So only a few races coming up.
We have sort of got a resurrection of almost the Metro Plate Series here in Victoria at the moment, which sort of blows me away because the Metro Plate Series was something that was pretty big back in the day, and it seems like there's racing every weekend here. What's it actually classed as now? What's it called?
It's a club event.
Yeah.
Run by the Eastern region, so it's almost like a track attack that's been spread out over 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Same tracks, so you got Lilydale, Park Orchards, Eastfield, Knox, Casey, and one other.
So same concept as the old Metro Plate, just under a different banner.
Yeah, I can't remember the other one.
There's a 6th one somewhere there. Maybe a couple of decades ago, but no, it's too far north. So yeah, they're running their series. I think they had something like 150 riders last weekend. I'm not sure how many are set to ride on Saturday. But
the weather is atrocious here at the moment.
Yeah.
Hence beanies and weather vane.
And snuggling up. Weather vane.
Weather vane.
Well, if you're talking about racing in atrocious conditions, because it's going to be, Mount Gambier's got 3 days of racing, 3 races in 3 days.
Oh yeah, so that's the Queen's birthday long weekend.
That's always warm.
I think I've mentioned it once before. I went diving, as in scuba diving, in Mount Gambier one year at that event.
In the caves.
In the caves, in the open caves, and the water temperature was 14 degrees, and I got out of the water. And it was 12 degrees outside. I actually got cold getting out of 14-degree water. So it was freezing. It was 12 degrees outside, and it felt warm getting into 14 degrees.
Well, that's not surprising, though, is Mount Gambier?
Oh, exactly. Well, that's what it's
I
like.
think it would be a good race meeting. Country champs on the Saturday. Victoria, South Australia on the Sunday. And then the Monday is their state round.
Yeah, it's a big weekend of BMX for those that have been looking out for some racing, but it can get pretty wet there in Mount Gambier.
Oh, got you. Had some horrific times there, but also some great times. It is a great track and a great club and a good area to experience.
It's a really good social event too.
Definitely.
The hospital's efficient.
Most people do pub crawls or sightseeing. You visit hospitals wherever there's an event.
Normally the show had finished now, but we decided to do a bit of show and tell. So
I've got a couple of new products here. So you can see this on the front of the bench. It's the Madeira Mast stem, and it's just a new, or not a new colourway. It's a colourway that's been around for a little while. We've just got them back in stock. It's party paint. So it's something that if you want to be out there a little bit loud and proud, there's a colourway there that we've got back into stock.
I love the Mast stem. I've got one of those on one of my bikes. It's got a nice rise to it, very stiff, but it's also trimmed right down, so it's quite lightweight. Great looking stem. You ever run a Mast stem?
No, but I was going to run a Mast stem when I was looking at running the Supercross Cruiser, because the good thing about the Mast is it's one of the few pro-size stems that comes in a 35.
Well, actual fact,
42.
funny you should mention that, because Goofball Ryan that works here mentioned that he's always amazed about the Madeira stems, how they're unusual sizes, and that's the attraction of them. They are all those in between sizes that, you know, whereas a normal stem's a 53mm reach or whatever, a Mast will be a 51. You know, they're all just those unusual sort of sizes. So if you are looking for something specific in length, the Mast stem could have you covered. It also does go down to a very short 1 1/8. 35mm?
38
38
or 36.
mil.
I can't
36. I think it's 36mm. Again, you know, 35 would be normal, but no, Mast has gone 36. So it's a 36mm reach in a 1 1/8 stem.
But then don't they step up in, is it 3mm?
Yeah, very close.
Increments?
Yeah, very close. So there's a 39. So
I'm pretty sure
36,
3mm all the way
39.
up to
Yeah.
54.
So there's a big range of sizes that will fit majority of cases.
It did give me the option of running a frame that normally would be a good 1/2 inch too long for me, dropping back from my normal 53 back to a stem that would actually fit me. And yeah, there's really no one else that's got a full pro size stem in those options.
Yeah.
The other thing with them too is they don't just offer unusual sizes; they also offer unusual colours. So they do a polished, they do a black and a polished, obviously, but they'll do a nickel, a burnt
red.
Orange, a matte red. You know, there's just it's just slightly different to the norm. So yeah, they're quite good in that sense. They're unique, and we mightn't have the whole range because supply's a little bit difficult at the moment, but there's a reasonable amount. Now moving to another end of the scale. These aren't actually the shortest cranks that Answer do. This is actually a 105mm crank arm. They go down to 100mm, so slightly shorter than this. So we just thought we'd show those just because they're little products for people out there that are looking, you know, the little grommets that are looking for, you know, nice little machined CNC products. They do come with a spider, so you can run that
Is there a
as a
4-bolt
configuration.
spider for that too?
No, only a 5-bolt spider. But there are unique proprietary sprockets that Answer do, or these little lightweight Renan race light sprockets, which are ridiculously light. And as you can see, they're a proprietary one that'll just clip straight on.
I had no idea they were milled out completely at the back.
They are. They're fully hollowed out at the back, those arms. Now, they are very, very weight limited. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head.
So 120 kilos?
Close, yeah, close. Almost like the new seats I bought today. 130 kilo weight limit, and we stretch them to the limit. But yeah, so these are very, very weight limited, but ridiculously light. Have you ever had a sort of a play with these at all?
They're so light that Renan actually say you don't pull them off the crank arm. So the bolts that come with them are a self-extractor bolt.
Yep.
So you do the bolt up to pull them on.
Yep.
And then when you release, then the bolt, as you undo it, pulls it back off. Because if you try and pull it,
You'll bend it.
yeah, you'll bend it.
Jeez, that's insane.
Good chain alignment.
Yeah, very
Keep
good.
your chain alignment straight with
Chain
us.
alignment king.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're in multiple range of sizes and everything. So yeah, just a couple of little lightweight things we thought we'd show.
They're compatible with other smaller cranks too, aren't they? The Renan chain rings. I think the VSR has the same pattern.
There's only a couple that have that sort of patterning that'll suit. Is that a word? Patterning?
Patterning. Oh, it's good
Patterning?
enough. We've come up with
Saw a
worse
dog
words.
the other day and I was sitting there patterning it. No, it doesn't work. The other thing too is Alienation, which are fairly renowned for tubeless tyres and tubeless rims, do have some Blue Magic tubeless fluid that we carry. So if you are looking for virtually a BMX specific, because it is a little bit thicker than the mountain bike ones, to stop any bleaching out through the tyres. Bleaching?
You're bleaching your tyres?
What is it when the fluid comes out?
Bleeding.
Bleeding, that's it. If you do have any bleeding, your bleaching will get rid of it, okay? So we've got that. Some tubeless valves in either brass or alloy. And if all that fails, we've got tubeless repair kits for bicycles. So, yeah, a little punch a hole in the side of it, poke that in, and away you go. So
Mount Gambier kit.
yeah. So yeah, just a
shit, that's what I was meant. Yeah.
couple of little items. So you will notice is we've got a couple of props on the dash this week, and one of them mainly is this really cool ODI umbrella that a few guys have got together and bought for me. So thank you everyone that chipped in. It's much appreciated, and go straight to the pool room. Right. Are you aware of that term, straight to the pool room? Because you had no idea. You had no idea when I was talking about Marbo and everything like that.
It had to
Same
be pointed
movie.
out. It had to be pointed out to me that I'm not very Australian. I do remember watching.
Well,
that
he
video.
knows, he knows, and he's not Australian.
Isn't that a condition of entry into Australia?
Yeah, it's on the questionnaire. Yeah, definitely.
So while we're showing off our show and tell, along with the umbrella, there's a new California snapback cap that ODI do, and also that's not listed on their website, an ODI jersey. So hopefully these get listed on their website soon, and other people will be able to buy them.
Wouldn't mind one of those for the office wall, I reckon.
Yeah.
Might have to try and
Might
organise
have
one.
to wait a while.
Yeah, but yeah. How long did the umbrella take?
About 8 months.
That's the norm these days,
Yeah.
unfortunately, the way the industry is. But anyway, we've covered that well and truly.
Alright, so next time we see any of you, we're probably going to be on the road, crossing borders.
On the road again. So there's 9 of us heading up, 2 vehicles, heap of bikes, and a little bit of fun on the way.
Yep, looking forward to it.
So in 2 weeks' time when we...
1 week.
Yeah, but in 2 weeks' time when we film this again, we should have some antics to talk about. So we'll see.
All right.
Antics. There's an old brand for you. Anyway.
Alright, thanks for watching. See you
Cheers.
next time.
See ya.
Stay safe out there.
Easy.
Simple.
Kept you out of trouble most of it.
Oh, I actually did some talking. What do you want to say? Oh, just in the middle again.
Yeah, it just makes it easier.
I don't have to change the location of the titles there.
What was that?
Oh yeah, change location of the titles underneath Gary
When I'm
Chang.
editing.
You lazy bastard.
Hey, is it BMX jacket?
That's so friggin' lazy. Oh, Anchor Hills.
Anchor.
Oh, Anchor BMX.
Yeah, they do a range of clothing. They're pretty good too.
So if you need to pan back a little bit, widen the shot a little bit.
Maybe you two could get smaller.
Shut up.
Did you zoom it in a
No,
tiny bit?
no. I think it's just because I look muscular. Yeah, that's better.
Oh yeah.
Oh, no, I filled up on Pepsi now, so anyway.
Oh yeah. That's better.
We're going to be pinging. Oh, good.
Oh, here we go. It's the start of it. What was it last week? Dim Sims or something?
That was me, yeah. I'd eaten dim sims and had lots of fizzy drink.
That's a good thing.